Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 9:47 on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday in October. Bank Holiday in the Republic of Ireland. I think it's next Monday. It's in the UK and in Northern Ireland. So there'll be lots of meetings on, I presume. I didn't see the entries yet. Missing in action last night, like it's the usual Sunday occurrence now that we didn't do a video. It was a county final day for me yesterday and had planned to go to Galway today, but too many pints last night and out late, which was unexpected, but these things happen. I landed in a bar and there was good music and there was good people to talk to, so it delayed me too long. I was feeling the effects of it this morning, and no Panadol or what do you call it, paracetamol in the house either, but we survived. It was more tiredness than anything else. Since we chatted last, we had a few winners, we had and a few non-runners, and we had a few losers, I suppose, as well. The nap yesterday, Jasper's Jack didn't run. Wexford was called off. Affordale Fury won. And then Hascore Claremont. I still haven't seen that race. I must look at it when I finish this. I want to see how it ran. I seen it won all right, and the one that I thought would be the biggest danger was finished third, so I don't know what happened. I'll have to look at it again. Hitman, I see, was last. Something must have happened. He's not that bad of a horse. And then the usual Monday trick that has worked the last 4 weeks for us now. We put up ones this morning. I should have just stopped at the one. San Air won very impressively, as on the same mark as last year, which was a bit surprising, but they had obviously targeted this race again, and handbrake was on a few times, dropped it a few pounds, and won handsomely. That was 5-1 this morning, 9-2, won at threes, I think. And then I put in that tortured Soul, because we had an each way in it at 11-1. The last day's ran. The track mustn't have suited or something, because it was in the hollow. It was coming all right, I thought, but he didn't stay on up the hill as I thought he might. Young horse probably as well, a 3-year-old, even though it was carrying bottom weight. But we got off Monday to a good start. A shout out to Paul Screven and Super Sisters. Also to St. Thomas's that won the hurling for the 6th time in a row yesterday in Galway. And a marvellous achievement for an area that has only 200 houses. It's a slice of land that goes through Gort and Loughrea. There's no town in it at all, to my knowledge. Correct me, Herding Chokers, if I'm wrong. I passed by the pitch there not too long ago when I was coming from Galway. I just took that route to see where it was. And Listo Limits won their Premier Junior in yesterday in Curragh. Sam Tarrant, who was over with me in Longchamp, was playing and contributed handsomely to the victory. And rumour has it there wasn't a cow milk last night, this morning, or this evening in that neck of the woods. Well, there might be many in the town anyway, but there's a few country lads on it. So well done to them. On to tomorrow. I don't know. I see Bangor is called off. There's an inspection at 7 a.m. in Galway on the Curragh. It's not looking good. It was unraceable yesterday and up to dinner time today. So they don't know what rain is coming tonight. But when you're having a 7 a.m. inspection, it doesn't say much for it. So I picked a few horses leaving the Curragh side. If the Curragh goes ahead, because we have a few bus horses running tomorrow, if it goes ahead, I'll have them shortlisted and I'll put them up in the morning, because I'll be up early. There's a nice little Class 3 handicap chase in Chepstow tomorrow. Now, the favourite there is the King of Ryhope for the Skeltons. This has yet to run over fences, so we don't know whether it's running out of its hurdle rating. So we don't know whether it's handicapped feasibly, as I say, or not. The same applies to Hymac. That's its first run as well over fences. And I don't think this has run over a handicap hurdle either. No. So even if they ran over a handicap hurdle, you'd sort of know where they're based because you'd be able to target what horses was around them. So with that in mind, I went for Nocte Volatus, who put in a good performance over course and distance recently, and 'twas in a class 2 behind Al's Dancer, who's a fairly decent horse. Like, it's rated 148, but with final orders, like, the going was against that, but it ran pretty well. And Walking Clover, Elixir de Nuts, they're decent animals as well. And it was his first run of the season, and it will improve from that. It jumped adequately, clever at times, and we'll pick it up in the closing straight. It's with the blue cap fourth.
Now has gone on, having jumped the fourth last, up towards the third last now, and he seems to be full of running here, Al Dancer. Coming down towards the third last now, he's up by 5 lengths, almost over jumped it. Going into second, Nocte Volatus. Elixir de Nuts has run his race. Walking Clover trying to land a blow. Final orders struggling as they cross over the second last here. Al Dancer has grabbed the race here, leads by 3 lengths down towards the final fence. Nocte Volatus is in pursuit as they go over the last. He got in very tight there, Al Dancer. Can he hang on? He's finding plenty on the run in though, with half a furlong left to go. And Al Dancer and Charlie Deutsch are drawing clear under pressure. And Sam Thomas having a fantastic meeting here. A double on the day for him, 3 at the meeting. Al Dancer.
He wasn't unduly hard on Moranton when the race was over. He had the better turn of foot. So that's the selection in that race. In the 322, this what took me ages tonight to try and get a selection of this, and I changed it 3 times. Would you believe? So maybe I should have stuck with the first one, but I changed it. This was won last year by Cold Henry. He done us twice last year. We were on the same horse both times. That was Oh So Chic. That's running again this year. But I just don't think it's, even though we won on it once, but Tarbert Nass, decent enough old stayer. The ground is heavy tomorrow. There is a precautionary course inspection. I initially had picked Beggarman on the strength of its class 2 run last time in Goodwood, but when I looked at everything again, I thought Cold Henry, it runs so well at the track. It has 3 runs and it has 2 wins and a third, and the third this year was to Our Little Daisy Baez, and it's only beaten 8 lengths, but it's second to Blow Your Horn, third to Flint Hill. It runs well at the track. And Billy Loughnane is a good man maybe for it. Well, have a look back at one of it's in 5th or 6th place here.
The turn and Copa
last
Colana
year.
making a
We were in
for the
third
stand
on Oh So
rail.
Chic at
Here's
the time.
Chic on the outside and is just kept in Terminator against the rail, who's trying to make ground and now has to switch. Cold Henry beginning to pick up towards the middle of the course, then Tarbat Ness and Kiss My Face coming down to the final furlong, and Cold Henry facing off again here with Oh So Chic as they did here 4 weeks ago. Back in third, Copa Colana and then Terminator. It is Oh So Chic on the stand side, Cold Henry down the middle of the course. Oh So Chic a narrow lead, Cold Henry trying to get there. It's going to be very close between them on the line. Cold Henry has joined Oh So.
He's only 60. What was the last year? 53 when he won that, wasn't it? £53, £7 higher, and he was only 3-year-old last year. And if we were doing a small little reverse forecast, I might stick in Beggarman. on the strength of it. It was in the race that we had Havaya the last time. It's an open enough contest with the betting suggests there. There's a horse as well in saying that for fear that other meetings mightn't go ahead. There's a race there in Newcastle. We have an old horse that we went for the last time. We got money off it, a bit of profit, Vindabala. But there's a better one I thought in it was Pink Parfait. First time running at a mile. It hasn't ran since March, but it's lightly raced. It won its won a not maiden in Newcastle, and it took all its time to get there over 6. And then the last time it ran over 7. It'll be coming on the rail in third to suggest that a step up to trip or up to a mile would be a positive. So
Two grey heads battling
it's in
for
the green
lead
and
from
yellow
James
there, number
Bond,
3.
Lally, Dr. Rio. Pink Parfait is trying to make progress to the near side, heading down towards the last furlong. James Bond is on the near side running rail. James Bond, Saison Door and Novak, Bobby Joe Leg running on. Pink Parfait with work to do. Well inside the final furlong, it is James Bond and Novak. James Bond on the near side, just in front of Novak. Here comes Pink Parfait. James Bond probably close. James Bond and no.
He wasn't too harsh on him now, I must say. He wouldn't need the hose to neither jockey nor harsh after their efforts in that. He's a 3-1 favourite. You always have to take into account the layoff, but slightly raced, and hopefully they'll have it tuned up. But know by the betting, if it drifts alarmingly out on Betfair, we'll know the better or what to do. But where else are we? That was it. Oh, if the Curragh goes ahead, we have a couple of we have several horses. We have Greek Flower that done us a good turn, but that was in a maiden. It was a poor enough maiden, so we'll have to look at this if it goes ahead in the morning to see how well we're in. We didn't go up, but it's a handicap. The 150, we're on Forrest Run as well. It'll be suited by conditions there tomorrow. We have Breezy Zoff and Zephron coming again against each other. Zephron beat Breezy Zoff before. Breezy Zoff then ran a better, well enough to last until second again. And in the 3:37, we have Alfalfa that didn't get the best of rides in Navan, wasn't it, the last day? Wayne Hassett is on it tomorrow. Young Kennedy was on it the last day. Wayne Hassett was on it the day he won in Thurles. Heavy ground is no problem to it either. So we'll see if that goes ahead. When you see a 7 a.m. inspection, I don't know. Normally they'd leave it like to 7:30 or that, or 8 o'clock, but I hope if it's supposed to be. I seen on the app there a while ago, it's 100% chance of rain around here tomorrow. So it's Monday night. What happens on a Monday night? We'll sing an old song for ye. On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler, and we were both too tired to sleep. So we took turns of staring out the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, and knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette, and he asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You gotta know when to hold 'em I know when to fold 'em, I know when to walk away, I know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And when he finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness the gambler he broke even, and in his final words I found an ace that I could keep. You gotta know when to hold 'em, I know when to fold 'em, I know when to walk away, I know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing is done. Bash the bookies, over and out.